Okay, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting our pattern on, and then we're going to base coat our elements. So we've done this photo, and this will be the next thing we need to do. So we need to make these mixes. Start with, we've got page 10 of 23, and we're going to start with these mixes: the copper, the bell, the limes, the lemon, and the book. And then we've got book pages, silver, pewter, and the bell handle. I'm using a large wet palette, and this is my toner that I'm going to be using in every color. These are the basic mixes that we made on the last video, and this is the table mixes. And right here are the background mixes. So I'm going to start making these mixes, and I'm going to line them up this way across my palette. Let's start with copper. We start with the medium mix, and we start with Naphthol Red and Hansa Yellow and Ultramarine Blue and the background mix. Okay? So let's get some background mix, and I think I'm going to have to make some more of this. We need a touch of background mix. That puts our toner into it, because we do have the toner in this mix. I use the nice blue shop towels when I'm painting to wipe my brushes with, but when I'm mixing I just use cheap fast food napkins for my palette knives, because they can't hurt the metal. It's rough on the brushes, this type of napkin, but it can't hurt the metal. Okay, so let's start with the medium, and that we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other mixes, so we need a fair amount. And so let's go Naphthol Red, and that would be 3 parts of Naphthol Red. So 2, 3, and we'll need Hansa. So I'm just going to pull that out of there. And then we have 1 and 2. Okay, and we have, I mean, this, you know, these paints may cost you more than what the 99-cent craft bottle, but you can just use every bit of it. Okay, so, and then ultramarine blue, we need 3/4 of a portion, so we'll use that. Okay, now this is a medium copper mix. I do think I'd like to put a little more of the yellow in there. And let's go with a little more blue, because this blue doesn't have much tinting strength. Alright. So from there we take the medium and we add burnt umber to that. A ratio of 3 to 1. I'm going to put my burnt umber over here on my palette, because I'll be using that, more of that, I'm sure. And 3 to 1. So here I have my medium and I have my dark, and let me put them together so I can see a difference. And then to make my very dark, I'm going to use a portion of my dark And I'm going to add ultramarine blue to that. Okay, 1 to 1. And then some red violet and naphthol red. Touch of each. Red violet. And we'll mix this to get our very dark value. Now let's skip up to light. So for low light we're going to use medium, naphthol red and Hansa yellow. So scoop up our medium and bring it over to the side a little bit. And our first ratio is going to be 3 to 1. So naphthol red we need 1. So I've got that reserve over here. And Hansa yellow would be 2, so that we get to a value of 6. Now check your values all along when you're making these. Okay, so here's 1 of yellow. So let's mix this. Okay, here's our low light. I'm going to go to the light, and that means some of the low light, more Hansa yellow, more naphthol red, and a little bit of titanium white. So let's portion off some of our low light. So we got 3 parts of low light, 1 part of Hansa yellow, and then we have a touch of naphthol red and a touch of titanium white. A touch of the red, a touch of the white, and let's mix that together. Looking for a value 7. Now, I feel that that's not quite light enough, so I don't see much of a value change between the two. So I'm going to add a little more white and a little more yellow. Now it's coming up a little bit. I want to go lighter, but I don't want to go chalky, so I'm going to add more yellow, not more white. Keep this warm. Now we're seeing that value change up to 7. And then we're going to go to very light, and we're going to use our light mix and add some more yellow and some more white. So let's push this off. So we're going to add an equal amount of yellow and a touch of white. And we want a value 8. And then for our last mix, very light, we once again take this very light, we add yellow, and we add white. And we go to a value 9. So now those of you that have made it to all the way to Module D, you know how to mix and mix for values. So I'm not going to spend your time watching me make every one of these mixes that are on page 10 and 11. So this is the way I mix it, and this is the way I judge the values by putting them next to each other, and you see the progression. So I'm going to go ahead and make all of my mixes, and I'm going to put them in my large palette, and then we'll join you back on the video when it's time to paint.